Hello and welcome to the We Should Move Here Travels podcast. My name is Brittany
I'm Josh.
and we are your hosts. Today we are going to be talking about our first stop in Portugal, which was Aveiro. We were saying Aveiro. We weren't really corrected, but I had just noticed that people were saying Aveiro. So I don't know if it's wrong to say Aveiro, but we're going to change it to Aveiro because everybody else said that.
I was going to say the locals were saying Aviro, so I think we got to go with how the locals were
Yeah,
saying it.
absolutely. So Aveiro was so stunning. I actually spent the first 6 days, right? 6 days?
I think you were probably 5 full days in Aviro, 6 days of travel.
Yeah. 5 days in Aveiro.
Mm-hmm.
I was by myself.
Yeah. And we will be doing an episode later on about your whole solo travel adventures.
Yeah. And your solo travel adventures that you've had previously. So we'll have a whole episode about solo traveling and what that was like for both of us having those experiences.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad that I did it. But we'll talk about it in another episode.
For sure.
So,
But I would like to know, I'm sure everyone else would like to know, how you spent your first 5 days. What did you like about Aviro?
Aveiro was so beautiful. I loved the tiles. So tiles are a big thing in Portugal, just in general. I didn't really know much about Portugal before going. So I didn't know that tiles were so big there. But the tiles on the houses in Aveiro, I had learned that they were used for preventing like mold and mildew and things like that, and that it worked really well. So I had learned that on a tour that I took. So I did take a tour. That tour included the boat. So there's like these very flat and long boats in Aveiro. And so I took one of those with a guide, and then I met a different guide afterwards. And we went to several different places to learn about the history of Aveiro and just what different things mean. And that was really fun to do. And then after that, we went to a wine tasting. I was with another couple, and they were really fun to get to know. They were from Holland, so they had a lot of insight into like Europe, and they've traveled a whole lot, so it was fun to get to know them. But overall, taking a tour without you was weird, man. It was weird. I really, at points throughout the tour, I really missed you because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm learning all of these new things. I'm having these new experiences. And I had just had therapy earlier today. And I actually told my therapist that I didn't anticipate to miss you in that way. Like, I knew I was going to miss you, but it was like, in the way of you not getting to experience these new things
Right.
that I missed.
Yeah.
And I just didn't expect that. So, but I really missed you during that. I'm glad I did it though. It was fun.
Of course. You had mentioned before that the couple from Holland, that they had talked to you a little bit about moving to Europe.
Yeah. They had said that it would be a very hard path and that starting out in the UK would be easier. So,
which is something that I think we have heard from others as well, that it'd be difficult to move to Europe and maybe Portugal specifically because there are so many people moving over there right now. But also we have heard from a few people in Europe that, oh, like you just got to find a way. You got to find the right way. And then they ask us like, how would you? And we talk about your job a little bit and talk about me going back to school. And they're like, yeah, those are fine ways. Like you'd be able to find a way that way. So, but we don't know. We've never tried. So maybe it's really difficult. Maybe it's really easy. If we ever get to that point, we'll share that. But yeah, it's just always interesting when people kind of give their opinions in that way.
Yeah. I think all throughout Portugal, and we'll talk about this, but I think the people on tours were just like different
Mm-hmm.
than what we have experienced in the past.
Yeah.
So we'll probably get into that a little bit more, but it was a different kind of experience. I mean, I had a lot of fun, and like I said, I really enjoyed getting to know them.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, in Aviro, I had so much fun,
Yeah.
even if it was without you.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that tour.
Yeah.
I ate out at so many different restaurants, and I got to try different cuisines.
Sure. Why don't you give us a little bit of a rundown?
I'll give you my favorite places that I went to. So, my favorite spot for coffee was Bastardo Coffee Roasters. This place was great. It was a small little roastery.
Mm-hmm.
It had Colombian coffee beans, and the espresso was just so freaking good.
Mm-hmm.
So, highly recommend checking out Bastardo Coffee Roasters. They also had some like pastries
Yeah.
and stuff that I tried there. So, really, really good.
And it was a place that you talked to me
Yeah.
over the phone about when you were there and I was here at home saying, "Oh my gosh, I love this roastery. The coffee is so good." And so the first morning that I was there, we were up going to that coffee place, that
Yeah.
roastery, and it was really good.
It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really sad because I want some now. Uh,
But you are back to your espresso machine and making yours as well.
which is great. But as I kind of walked around Aviro and got to know the city, I found different restaurants, and I really enjoyed being able to just explore and go wherever I want, whenever I wanted. I've never done that before. I'll talk more about it in the solo travel episode. But I am a foodie at heart. So that's why we're kind of like starting off with the food, because it was insane. It was so good there.
Plus, this is a food podcast. So
This is a food podcast. Um, Another place that I would want to highlight is Raiz. It is a plant-based restaurant, and I got a Buddha bowl here. At this point, I was feeling some greens, and I wanted to try the vegetable scene in Portugal. So I got a Buddha bowl, and it was incredible. It was so good. I also got a green juice there. So if you're wanting something healthier while you're in Aviro, that is an option. I also would highly recommend Asimami, which is a Asian fusion restaurant. I got a shrimp bao and then kimchi dumplings that were so good. When you got there, I really wanted to go back and have you try them, but they were closed. So
Yeah.
go try them if you are there when they're open. It's so good.
I arrived on I think Sunday afternoon or Saturday afternoon. I think it was Sunday afternoon. And then the only full day I had there was on a Monday. So lots of places were closed and
Yeah.
couldn't go to some of your favorites. But the places that we got to go to were great. But let's hear about your few other favorites as well.
At Ovos Moles de Aveiro was the best Ovos Moles in the city. The tour guide took us there, and we got to try it there. I also took you there. You did not try any other one but that one, and I wanted you to, but we didn't try any other one because that was the best.
And it was delicious.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Ovos Moles is a pastry of sort.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically a sweet egg yolk kind of inside filling. The outside is a wafer. It's really, really good. It's really good. You have to try it when you're in Aviro. Aviro is actually the only place that can make them and sell them. It is legally protected. At Restaurante O Barro, oh my gosh, the risotto. I got a mushroom risotto. It was so good. I also wanted you to go there, but they were closed.
Classic.
And then Aligarius is a place that we did get to go when you came to try Francesinha.
Yeah.
So Francesinha was a dish from Porto, and we were kind of scolded a little bit for trying it in Aveiro, but we did have it in Porto as well. We'll get to that in the Porto episode. I tried the vegetarian Francesinha, and this freaking dish was so delicious. I loved it. I loved every bite. I think they did it really, really well. And then the meat one was also really good.
Very good. Very heavy dish. They
we split it.
Yeah, they often give you that option that we've seen at the couple places that we had it, is you can get one split or get one apiece. So we split it and it was definitely enough food, but very good, especially with the fries and like the gravy sauce. Oh,
Yeah, it's a tomato gravy and it's smothering this sandwich that has, I think, different kinds of like pork and beef inside, and then there's cheese and there's a egg on top.
lots of great things.
Have to try it when you're in Porto, though.
Yes.
But I would recommend if you're not going to Porto and you're going to Aveiro, which I don't know how that trip would work because Porto is so close. But anyways, if you are only in Aveiro, Aligarius is a great place to try it.
An absolutely great place, yes.
And then for my last day there without you, I wanted to treat myself a little bit. So,
or was it a funeral for it being the last day without me?
No, I was celebrating the fact that I did solo travel.
Yes, yeah.
For 5 days. I know it's not like the longest time in the world, but it
was a big accomplishment.
It was.
Absolutely.
It felt really, really good. So I wanted to treat myself and celebrate a little bit. So I went to Salpoente. Oh my gosh. This place, Michelin stars. For Michelin stars, it wasn't that expensive. I think it was like €80 for everything I got, which is pretty expensive for one person, but
it's still expensive, but for a Michelin star high quality restaurant,
yeah,
you know, that equates to what, $100 maybe.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah, I agree. And it was a great experience. I was sitting there kind of like reflecting and just feeling really proud that I was able to sit at this Michelin star restaurant by myself and eat a meal by myself.
Right.
Like, who does that?
Yeah.
I guess I do. But there I got prawns in curry.
Yeah.
Great appetizer, great starter.
Amazing.
And then prawn and sea bass for my main.
Yeah.
That was also amazing. The sea bass, incredible. Chef's kiss. And then they had a take on an Ovos Moles. That was like an Ovos Moles cake kind of thing.
Okay.
And it was so delicious as well. Highly recommend if you're wanting a nice dinner in Aveiro, go there.
Yes, you sent me these pictures and I was so jealous. I was so happy for you, but so jealous. I was like, oh man, that looks so good.
It was really good. And it was a great experience. It was truly just a great experience. I really enjoyed my time there. And I had like 2 glasses of wine.
Yeah.
It was great. So Salpoente was my last kind of meal before you got there.
Yeah.
And when you got there, I was so excited to see you. I was elated. I was like waiting for you at the train station.
You were.
Just very excited to show you the city that I had fallen in love with.
Yeah.
I love Aveiro so much. And I was like, I need to share this with the person I love more than anything.
Yeah.
So
I was so excited too when I came on the train, because we took trains throughout this trip. When I came the train and I got to the station, I saw you standing there waiting for my car because I told you which one I was in. And I got off and you were waiting by the other door on the other side. So it's like waved you down and then you ran towards me, and it was a cute moment where we embraced each other, and
I missed you so
I
much.
missed you so much too. We had the short walk to the apartment that we rented, which it was a nice apartment.
It was very nice.
Mhm.
If you watched any of my solo travel like short clips
Mhm.
on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube, I did talk about the stairs, and they really scared me when I was alone. I thought I was gonna fall down the stairs and nobody would find me.
But you didn't. It was
I
fine.
didn't. I was fine.
Man, that first day when we were there, you walked me around, you showed me a bit of a Viro, like you said, what you fell in love with. It's a small town, a historic small town with the river and waterways running through it. I don't know, how would you describe it? Because I mean, you got to spend more time there than I did.
Yeah. I mean, it is called the Venice of Portugal, and I can understand why. It has the canals, it has kind of small streets surrounding the canals, it has a cobblestone. It has all of those things that Venice also has. And if anybody knows what I love in a trip, I love a Venice trip. Love Venice.
So it's kind of easy to see why you would fall in love with this place.
I really fell in love with this place. Like,
It's definitely a smaller Venice though. Like Venice
it
is
is, yeah.
massive.
No, but it is very small, and I loved that.
Mhm.
I loved it. I mean, I was there during one of their holiday celebrations. I think their Freedom Day
Mhm.
is what it's called, from when they became free from their dictator. So they celebrate that every year, and there's
Mhm.
carnations to symbolize that. And people came into town for that. Not only that, but there was also a marathon, the European marathon that weekend.
Yeah.
So that came through a Viro. And it was a lot of people by the time you got there.
Mhm.
I swear the week before there was not a lot of people. It was a small town kind of feel. Like there were some tourists or travelers here and there, but it really felt homey.
Yeah.
And I loved that about it.
I'm sure tourism picks up there into later spring and then summer because we were there at the end of April. So kids are still in school, people are still working their like regular full season jobs. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it still didn't seem like a place that would get massively overcrowded. We could be wrong about but
No, I think that with the amount of tourism that Venice has, this is nothing compared to that.
oh, no. No. I mean, Venice is working on restricting tourism. I don't know if Aviro has that problem.
No, I don't think so. And it was really fun. I think in tourist cities, that offers a different kind of experience to be able to do tours, to be able to learn more about the city. And
Mhm.
it wasn't tours that you could find on TripAdvisor. So it's not like a huge tourist city,
Yeah.
but you can find tours on Get Your Guide.
Mhm.
So that tells me that it's kind of like in between. Like it's not so small that there's no tours,
Right.
but it's not so big that it's all over TripAdvisor.
Right.
So if
Yeah.
that tells you anything.
Yeah. No,
But
I think it says a lot.
yeah, I agree. So when you got there,
Mhm.
I took you to Bastardo Coffee Roasters to
Mhm.
start the day
Mhm.
after you kind of showered and washed the train and airplane off of you.
Loved the coffee right away. Saw why you loved it.
Yeah.
And then you showed me around like all the kind of little spots and nuances of Aviro, or at least the parts that we visited, because it's bigger than what we saw.
Mm-hmm.
but we kind of saw the nucleus, the center of Old Town, I would say. And so you showed me the ribbon bridge, and you kind of showed me some statues and
We put
some
on a
small
ribbon.
streets. Yeah, we put on a ribbon the next day. And we had some great weather. It was beautiful sunny days. And then that night we went to, well, actually for lunch we went to Plaza Grill and had some hake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah. It was good. It wasn't
I don't think it was like
I
out of this world.
No.
But what was out of this world was our dinner that night. We went to
Yes.
Wine Wings Bar.
Oh, amazing.
Incredible.
Mhm.
We had the mussels and the scallops
Mhm.
along with the lemon cake for dessert.
Yeah.
It was so good. I'm thinking about these mussels. That was my favorite dish. I can't say my favorite. That was one of my favorite dishes of the entire trip. It was so good.
Again, we'll talk about the different nuances to each city, but pricing was really affordable in Aveiro. Like we had at Wine Wings Bar mussels, the scallops, and the lemon cake, and it was not that expensive with some drinks.
Yeah.
And
I think it was under €50 for all of it.
Yeah. I'm fairly certain with the drinks and everything, which is crazy. But like you said, these mussels and scallops dripping in sauce, and I forget which one. Did the scallops have cheese on them?
No, the mussels.
The mussels? Oh,
They had like a cream-based sauce and a
Mhm.
cheese top, and I think they were grilled.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, it was so good.
It was amazing. Loved it. We'll definitely have pictures of it and videos on the video record version. But and the lemon cake as well was just so fresh
Yeah.
tasting. Oh.
There were like pieces or bits of candied lemon on top.
Mm-hmm.
So delicious.
Yeah. So we had that for dinner, and then the next morning, of course, went back to Bastardo.
Of course, when you find a good coffee spot and you're only there for a couple days, you gotta go back.
You gotta go back.
I am definitely one for exploring and trying different coffees, but if you find one that's this good, you go back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it was that good.
Yeah.
So we had the coffee there. I think we had a little pastry there as well. Again, walked around Aveiro. We went to a shop. We actually didn't go to this shop because it wasn't open at the time, but Beleza do Sal. I was looking for soap and shampoo for myself during the trip just because I didn't want to bring the extra liquids in the space. And so found this little boutique store. They weren't open, but a store just down the way had their products in it. And I kept this bar soap and the shampoo the whole time. It was amazing. It smells awesome, like a lavendery smell, and it's sea salt like scrub in it.
Yeah. Aveiro is actually known for their salt production because it's like right off of the ocean.
Yeah.
And yeah, so they produce a lot of salt. So the salt came from Aveiro.
Yeah. Yeah. And just great stuff. And you showed me some really cool salt harvesting murals that were kind of on the side of walls and streets, and I definitely painted into some of the tiles as well. You showed me a lot of those really cool spots. What was we also walked along in this one kind of courtyard area.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a statue of a woman without her eyes covered.
So throughout Portugal, she is known as the Lady of Justice. And I think I'm correct with this. My tour guide told me this story, and hopefully I'm saying it right. But she is known as the Lady of Justice, and there are only 2 in Portugal that don't have their eyes covered to symbolize that they were blind to see the dictatorship. This one, her eyes were not covered. And the way the tour guide had kind of talked about it was to symbolize that you were following the dictator, that your eyes were watching him and you were following him. However, she had kind of talked about it that it is now looked at as a symbol of where they can't go back to.
Yeah.
It is a reminder,
Yeah.
in a sense, of what had happened.
Mm-hmm.
And so they cannot return back there.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting perspective. And it was kind of cool to be able to learn about that and see that. Yeah.
There was an installation while we were there, I think, that was put up in the United States, I believe. I could be wrong. It was put up somewhere, but it was very similar to that. It was to show blind patriotism, I think, for the United States.
Mm.
A person carrying a flag, and the flag was waving, and then it covered their face.
Mm.
And like they were walking forward with this flag just covering their face, unable to see. And so it was the dangers of blind patriotism. So
Wow.
it was interesting that we were on this trip and then this installation was put up by, I think, a pretty famous artist. So, because it was on the news and stuff. So, so that was interesting that you showed me that and then that happened. But in this courtyard also, the tiles had the zodiac signs, didn't they?
Yeah, yeah. So on the ground, there was an artist that did zodiac signs in the tiles. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. And again, all of the tiles on houses and on buildings, some of the churches, gorgeous, looked really cool.
You didn't get to go into any of the cathedrals. However, the cathedrals there that I went into during the tour, they were covered in gold. It was actually pretty cool. You know, my atheist ass in a fucking cathedral looking around at all this gold. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Very sad that it was there to show the separation of the wealthy, the bourgeoisie, and then the poorer people. So
yeah. Well, there was a pretty clear distinction in Aveiro back in the day. Between the wealthy and the poor.
Yeah, right. But still cool for you to see. It was fine. I just came on the wrong days of the week where everything was closed up. But really cool that you got to show me around that. Again, very beautiful. Where were we? Oh, we were talking about soap. And then we kind of went off on this. And then we went and we had that Francesinha for lunch. Really good. That was my first one. Stay tuned for Porto episode because we'll tell you one that was out of this world.
It was the best. It was the best. It was so fucking good.
Yeah.
It was actually recommended to us by one of the guides of our wine tour.
Yeah. Which we did next after lunch. We went right away and did this wine tour that you had booked for us. And they were an amazing duo. One was just there kind of as a translator and also was fairly knowledgeable. She went to university around there and was really fun to talk to. Gave us this recommendation along with others. I think going into this trip, we knew Portugal had really good wine, but Portugal has some really fantastic wine.
Really great wine. Yeah. I knew that I've had some Portugal wine that's really good, and I just don't think it's everywhere in the US.
No.
So I don't think I've had a lot of it. And in Portugal, I swear, we almost drank a glass of wine every day. Every day. And our tour guides kept saying, like, don't feel bad. Like, locals do that here. Like, it's the way of life here.
Yeah. They said you're not true Portuguese if you're not having a glass of red a day.
Yeah. So. Which, I mean, you can definitely be Portuguese and not have a glass of
for sure
wine a day.
Just some people's opinions. And I mean, they told us too that there's definitely a feud between the north and south, that everything north of basically Aveiro or Lisbon, somewhere in there, everything in the northern half is true Portugal, but then everyone in the south is like, no, this is true Portugal, and there's a lot of history there as well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that was kind of fun to learn about. And then
yeah.
we got to see like the differences.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that was fun. We also ate at Leitao De Levira. I don't know if I said that correctly, but we were also recommended by the wine tour
Mm-hmm.
to go try Piglet
Yeah.
in Aveiro
Mm-hmm.
because apparently they're known for it. So we had Piglet.
Yeah. I think it also translates to suckling pig. I'm
Oh my
pretty
God.
sure some other people said when we told them piglet, they're like, oh, suckling pig, which doesn't sound any better.
No.
But we had it and it was actually pretty good.
It was very good.
Mhm.
It was very good. I actually really liked the salad that we had. So we had
Mhm.
a salad and then we had just the piglet with orange. And so you have to eat it with the orange because it tastes so much better with
Yeah.
it. And we were also told that. So
It was good, like you said, with the orange, and then it also had the crispy skin, which I don't think you liked,
I
but
I couldn't get past the piglet piece of it. Like I
Right.
think it was good, but I just couldn't get past what I was eating.
Yeah.
And it made me very sad to eat the skin. Not that it's any better to eat the meat, but
Right. But when in Rome, we always try to do our best with local dishes,
we
and
do.
this was a local dish that throughout the trip when we told people, they were like, "Oh yeah, you go to Aveiro." That's what I did as a kid when we traveled between Lisbon and Porto. We stopped off in Aveiro and we had this dish. So, yeah, really good, really interesting. Would recommend if you're in Aveiro, I think.
Yeah, definitely. You have to try it while you're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that pretty much was it for our stay in Aveiro.
It was. Yeah. We had a lot of fun. I think
Mhm.
also just like walking around and like you talked about, like me showing you what I learned about the city.
Yeah.
I think that you didn't have enough time to fully appreciate it. And you
Mm-mm.
also came during the weekend. That's like the busiest weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. The first day when I was there, you said was much busier than the entire time you were there, basically.
Much busier.
Yeah.
Much busier. Yeah. So I don't know if Aviro is going to make my top 3, but
Mhm. After it, you were pushing for a top 5. You're like, can we do a top 5?
and I loved it here. I really
Mhm.
loved it. So I just need to let it digest a little bit and maybe it'll make my top 3.
Yeah.
I really don't think you've had enough time here to appreciate it.
I don't think so either. And the fact that it was like a busy weekend,
Yeah.
but also it just the little nucleus of the old town of Viro that we were in was super cool.
Mhm.
And then we walked from there to the train station of Aviro, and we got to see kind of more of the local living area, which
Mhm.
was nice as well. But we didn't spend any time there because we were staying in the nucleus of Old Town, which is a great place to stay and visit if you're a tourist. So I think if we would have stayed there together the whole time, maybe I would feel different.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel like if it would be in consideration, like if you were like, oh, this is my number one, we have to go back and spend time so you get a full feeling, we would definitely have to do that.
Yeah. I mean, it might be my number 3.
Mm.
I don't, it might be my number 2. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. It might take over again.
Oh, no.
It might.
Those are fighting words. I don't like that at all.
Well, I think we do have to go back for 1. And and for 2, I met the city differently
Right.
than you
Mhm.
met it.
Yeah.
So
Maybe I have to go back by myself for a couple days.
maybe.
You wouldn't like that if it's your number 2.
No, I would love that for you.
Mm.
I would love that for you. And then I would come and I would want to spend a longer amount of time there
For
than
sure.
what you spent there.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I'd be like, no, we're staying there another week.
Yeah. We got to balance this out.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm getting that Ovos Moles and the mussels.
Mm.
Oh my God, those mussels.
Yeah. Throughout this trip, really good seafood, really good pork, really good wine. We will continue to talk about those throughout the episodes of our Portugal trip because those were definite themes.
They were definite themes
Mhm.
throughout Portuguese cuisine.
Yeah.
When we were eating true Portuguese meals,
Mhm.
it was very typical to have pork.
Yep.
And
Pork
seafood.
or fish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seafood, excuse me. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And definitely wine.
And definitely wine.
Oh, man. I mean, is there anything more that, I mean, there's so much more about every place we go to, and we can't cram it into, a palatable episode every time for everyone. But is there anything more that you want to talk about, Aviro?
I just really loved it here. I would recommend people to give it a shot. I think people typically hit up like Lisbon, Porto, Lagos, which we also did.
Yeah.
But I think that Aveiro is such a special town. Now, don't everyone go because you'll ruin it if everybody goes.
I don't think you can
Take
have it both
turns.
ways. Have a sign-up list. It's kind of like Green Bay Packer tickets. You got to get in the queue.
Exactly. Yes. And I'm sure locals wouldn't like me praising it so much because people might go.
Right.
But it is such a special town.
Really fantastic.
I loved it.
Yeah. A lot of locals that we talked to. Well, not a lot of locals. We didn't talk to everyone or a ton of people. But the ones we talked to, lots of born and raised there. Definitely some younger students and younger adults saying that they were looking to leave Portugal for different reasons, including being able to find jobs, find housing, affordability changing, those kinds of things. I mean, even the short time that I was there, which was a day and a half, really beautiful place. I would not be upset if we went back there.
Yeah.
I was really great that it was the first place you got to do your first solo, and I can't wait until that episode where we can dive a little deeper into your solo experience and mine, and maybe share some moments that happened for each of us.
Yeah, I'm excited for that too.
Yeah.
But I think that's the gist of Aviro.
Needed more time. I think that's kind of the gist. Needed more time. At least for me. Well, if you loved it so much, you probably feel like you needed more time.
Oh my gosh, I could have stayed there for so long.
I love that. It would have been so bad if it was your first solo trip and it was a place you just hated after like a day or two.
I think if we would have stayed in Lisbon, I liked Lisbon, don't get me wrong, but it's a huge city.
Yeah.
Huge city. So.
No, and I guess very last thing before we call this one, because we did take trains, it was very easy to get to Aveiro from Lisbon, where just about everyone flies into. But coming from Lisbon, very easy to get to Aveiro by train, especially if your next stop is Porto. Just take a day or two like I did and stop off.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, next episode, we will be talking about Porto.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at WSMH Travels.
You can listen to our podcasts on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. YouTube is where we have our video record version, including pictures and videos from our trip. Please continue to leave your comments and send us messages on what you liked from our trips and suggestions for our future trips. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for listening. Until next time.